Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Sunday, July 11th, 2021. I want to tell you something. This video, if you're even seeing it right now, is the second one that I have done today. YouTube refuses to process videos with certain words in it, certain phrases in them. The curtailing or censorship of information that you are not supposed to know is very, very dangerous. And, this is what they do now. Again, it's all part of a mechanism to not allow you to know what's really going on here. I believe most of you that follow this blog, excuse me, are well aware of this. There's a whole mechanism in place here to keep people from knowing the truth. And more than likely, this channel, I'm on borrowed time. They do not want people like me out here. And they don't want you to know what's really happening. So with that said, if you do happen to see this video, I have no idea what they're going to do. Share this stuff. Get it out there while we still can. Okay, we people, I've told you this for years, are marching into a new paradigm, a new set of rules here, and nothing is what it seems. You understand? Anyway, with that said, I do hope you're seeing this video. I was forced to take down my last one. They wouldn't even process the video. So that should tell you something. I will try to cover some of that in this video, maybe in a roundabout way. Anyway, people, let's talk about what's happening here, the phenomenon that's occurring around us, what's driving this market, what drove the market last Friday to a trifecta of new record highs. We're talking about the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. I think you know. I already spoke about this on Friday. It was the Federal Reserve who is starting to move goalposts. Again, look, at the onset, when the Fed started talking about tapering or lifting off, all the mainstream media nonsense, garbage propaganda about the Fed, tapering anytime soon. It's not going to happen. I explained to you again at the onset when the Fed mentioned this, that they would move goalposts. Well, that goalpost got moved Friday already. It's already starting. The Fed had mentioned, how do I say this without them banning this video too? The Fed had mentioned that this thing that's going around right now, the new, I hope I can say this word, variant going around is a threat to the economy. Therefore, the Fed would continue to support the market, meaning they're going to buy it all. You know the phenomenon. It's epic. Okay, the worse the economic news is in any shape or form, okay, the higher the stock market's going to go, because the market realizes the Fed is going to continue to buy. Again, I want you to contemplate what I'm about to tell you. Most of you know this already, but I'm going to say it again. The Fed has monthly minimum targets for their asset purchases. 80 billion per month minimum, that's the floor, of treasuries. 40 billion per month minimum mortgage-backed securities. There's no top. I explained to you that not only would the Fed be moving goalposts, but I said even before that the Fed would be increasing asset purchases, not tapering, not cutting back. The Fed has no intention at all, zero, of tapering, cutting back. They don't care about inflation. Jerome Powell, Yellowstone, the Federal Reserve Chairman himself, said, and I covered this the day he said it, explained that he is not concerned about inflation. He's more concerned about people getting the jab. That's the concern of the Federal Reserve. Okay, Again, it's a mechanism here. And you can expect, and I hope I can say this with them processing this video, new variants to just miraculously pop up, okay? And this is going to push the stock market higher the same way bad economic news drives the market higher. It's the way it's going to work out. Again, the twist or the lie that is being spun by the mainstream channels is, oh, our economy is booming, we're so strong, this is why the stock market keeps going up. Meanwhile, right after the last Fed meeting a week ago, the Fed said the economy is not strong. So, you see, you're not supposed to know that stuff. Most people don't pay attention to what comes out of the mouth. Really, they don't. Of the Federal Reserve, the presidents, the chairman, the Fed is admitting our economy is not performing well. That's beautiful for the stock market. Again, it means buy. I told you this last dip would get bought. Remember, the stock market fell and people were out there going, oh, this is it. It's the market top. Everyone been talking about the crash. I said, no. I said, the Fed is going to get in here and make sure they goose the market. People are going to get in here and buy it. They're going to buy the dips. And it's exactly what happened. It's not going to stop. When you understand the mechanism under it all, you can realize why those people that are calling for market tops, that are calling for crashes anytime soon, they don't understand the driver of the market at all. It's one thing. It's not earnings. It's not PE ratios. It's not forward guidance. No, none of it. It's what's the Fed going to do? That's the only thing driving the market. There's not a single asset today, not one, that has a real price discovery mechanism behind it anymore. All this is an environment of distortions to an extreme. And that extreme is about to get much, much worse because the Fed, again, has no intention whatsoever of tapering. They want to inflate. The Fed's balance sheet just crossed $8.2 trillion. We haven't seen anything yet. The higher the Fed's balance sheet goes, the higher the market's going to go. And that means the worse off the economy is. Again, our debt to GDP ratio is hyper ballooning. Okay. There's no recovery at all. All we've done is hyperinflate the debt, create slaves. That's all that they're doing now is creating slaves. People, the Fed is public enemy number one. Public enemy number one. I think you all know that. And it's not going to stop. We have now this hideous merger between corporations and this new American government, the United States of corporate America. That's it. Look at who has benefited from this scam and these new variants out there. It's the central banks of the world, none more so than the Fed. It's big pharma. It's the corporations. The middle class is going away. It's gone pretty much. You got small businesses that got deliberately wiped out during this thing here, this transition to some kind of a yet to be defined system. I told you this was all coming. Everything I've told you for years is here now. And I'm telling you right here and right now, it's going to get monumentally worse. This is not transitory. This whole thing with inflation, it's going to miraculously go away. It's just, how do they figure that? You all knew this was going to happen because I told you from years ago. There was no way to stop all of these extra bills that have been created in any form, whether digital, added to a screen, or printed out of thin air. There was no way to stop those bills from chasing the same or less existing amount of goods. And we're seeing historic inflation here. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve continues to run its inflation creation machine, issuing debt through one door, buying it through another door. Understanding all of these things that I have told you without getting into detail, I can't talk about this stuff quite obviously. All they're doing here is creating an environment where, again, the Fed becomes the lender and buyer of last resort, wiping out the middle class, creating that two-tier society that I've explained to you what happened from many, many years ago. The rich and the well-off could not possibly be doing better. Meanwhile, a large portion of the population is going away. And I'm hoping that's not you. Unfortunately, I believe a lot of you probably consider yourself members of the middle class, but are you really? How much debt do you owe? If you zero out what you owe as to what you actually own, do you have a positive net worth? Middle class America used to have a positive net worth. Now people who consider themselves members of the middle class, most of them, have a negative net worth. How can you possibly be a member of the middle class if you have a negative net worth? Can't happen. You're just living in fantasy land. Again, that's if you're borrowing, and that's what people are doing. We have personal debt, consumer debt, hyper ballooning. We got people borrowing from their credit card just to make ends meet. As this thing around us just continues to manifest itself, well, you're already done. You're already done. And you have no idea what's coming down the pike. People, look, the market is going higher, much higher. As long as the Fed continues doing what they're doing, as long as we have representatives, our so-called people that are supposed to represent us, calling for more debt, calling for more spending, I think you all know that. Anyway, people, bet against this debt. Become your own central bank like I've been explaining to you. Physical silver, the most undervalued asset in the history of the world. You should also have some cryptocurrencies in your portfolio here. You need to be long this market. We're not going to let this thing beat us. It's not going to happen. I will not let that happen to you. I won't do it. If you've been following my blog for any length of time, if you understand the concepts I cover here, you know exactly what to do and why you're doing it. All right, people, that's it. I'm going to end this video now before they shut this one down, too. I have no idea if you're going to be able to see it. But please share it. I need you. You're on my team. You know what they're doing to me. They will not process my videos. So please get them out there. Love you a lot. See you in the morning.